Welcome back to my channel. I am here with some empties and a melting basket that I am excited to share with you. I think I have found a better method of keeping track of like my ratings so that I'm not like looking around for so long. So we have a lot of empties here. I started a new job. I can't remember if I had started last time I did one of these or not, and I have like a single melter in my office there. So I'm melting some like small things, or if I have like one piece left there. So you'll hear me talking about that. Let's see. Try to separate these out a little bit by vendor. So many empties. I feel like it's so funny to like keep my trash, literally. Like I wonder if other people are like noticing that I just have all of this trash, and that I like melt things and don't throw them away. I don't like tell people in my life that I am doing YouTube, because it just feels like it's something that I'm doing for me right now and I'm enjoying it. Sorry if you can hear my dog coughing, it's kind of gross. Okay. So we're gonna go by vendor and see if that makes this a little bit easier. So let's start off with Birdies making sense. So first off I have It's Okay to Make Mistakes, and this was like a steak shape, and this is so good. Also, I'm sorry for my nails, I need to do them. This was Cafe Vienna, Cinnamon Toast Crunch, Zucchini Bread, and a hint of pretzel, and this is like one of my top tier scents, like 10 out of 10, was a 5 out of 5 throw. I really enjoyed this. I will absolutely get it again if she brings it back. Also from Birdies, we had So Fortunate, which is caramel apple cheesecake and coffee bean. These were like little fortune cookie shapes. This was good. It was like a 6 out of 10, 3 out of 5 throw. Like I enjoy it, but like I don't love apple scents, and so it was like a little faint. It wasn't my favorite, but it was fine. Then I have Shrimply the Best, which cracks me up, and these were like too realistic, like look just like little shrimps. Zucchini bread, strawberry jam, sugar cookie, 8 out of 10, 4 out of 5 throw. Would probably get this again too. Yeah, I liked this. This was really good, and they were like so realistic. And then this was like a sample from Birdies. Cafe Cubano pie crust and tea and cakes. This is another one that I hope she brings back. So I gave this a 9 out of 10, 5 out of 5 throw. I just love tea and cakes, and like tea and cakes with coffee is like shockingly amazing. So I will be on the hunt for that to come back. I had a few things from Candles from the Keeping Room that I bought in a D-stash. I haven't melted a ton of them, or a ton of things from them. And I found that these were like okay in my house. They're not like the best performers, but they were good. It could also be like it's still pretty hot here, so I got the AC going, so maybe like in the winter it would be a little bit better. But we have Pear Spice Donuts. I gave this a 6 out of 10, 4 out of 5 throw. They're just like a little faint. I think maybe it's because the wax is so hard, and I use a combination of like Happy Wax and Scentsy warmers, but they just like, it takes a really long time to melt these, and then I feel like the throw isn't as good. Let me know if y'all love Candles from the Keeping Room, because I know they have like a big following. People love them, and I like the way things smell in cold. Or what do you do? Do you use like a small amount, a larger amount? Is there a certain type of warmer that works better? I'm like open to trying other things because I do like it. This was Cinnamon Apples and Peaches. Give this a 7 out of 10, 4 out of 5 throw. It was also like, it was good. And then Marshmallow Fireside. I could not smell this like at all. Like I put my nose in it and could like smell what I was able to smell like on cold, but it was not throwing it all for me. And also, you know, like this is a D-stash. I don't know how old these things were, or like how they had been stored. So that could also be a contributing factor to why these weren't like the best for me. Okay, then we have some things from Fantasy Wax here. We have Pecan Pie. This was devastating because this is a 10 out of 10 on cold for me, but again, I could not smell it. But this is like one of the oldest things in my collection. So maybe that's it. And I just recently started like double bagging things or putting scent shot cups in bags. And I wonder if like just like over a year, you know, like this isn't the most well sealed, like perhaps that contributed to it. I don't know, but normally Fantasy Wax performs amazing for me. So I was like kind of shocked to have a flop, and especially because I loved this so much on cold. I was very sad about it. I also had Barbara. This is also pretty old. And this is pumpkin apple butter. These are both from like last fall. I gave this like a 5 out of 10. Like it was fine. Again, I don't love apple scents. 4 out of 5 throw. Lemon pound cake from Fantasy Wax. Oh, y'all know this is like maybe my favorite scent of all time ever. Yeah, 10 out of 10, 5 out of 5 throw every time. And so I brought this to my office, and like I cut them up into 4. And this has been living in my office since I started working there, because I put in a 4th. You know, it's like Wednesday, Thursday are my long days. I put it in Wednesday morning, warm it all day Thursday, and it's still like throwing for me. It does start to like fade off by the end of the day on Thursday, but we're talking like a long time, and it's so good. And so I love to like really like the things that are my favorite, like make them go as long as possible, and things that I'm like, yeah, I like this, I kind of will like change out to be able to try other things. But this was phenomenal. They recently had a pre-order, and I ordered just so much of this, like an embarrassing amount of this, and I'm hoping to just like keep doing that. Like I would love to just like have a little bit of this live in my melting basket at all times, to like just brighten any down days. I also had a sample from Fantasy Wax in Old Town Bake Shop. I gave this like a 6 out of 10, 4 out of 5 throw. It was like good. It was a good bakery, but it wasn't like, didn't blow my mind. All right. And some things from Glitterati. A couple of these things are again from like samples. These are all from like the same person. So it could be that these are older. I don't know, but they were decent. Let's see. Okay, so I had caramelized pralines. I gave this an 8 out of 10 on warm. It smelled amazing. 5 out of 5 throw. It was just a little too buttery for my taste. I do like a butter scent, but it's gotta be like, there's a limit for me. I also had creme brulee, pears, caramel, and vanilla ice cream. I also gave this an 8 out of 10, 4 out of 5 throw. Didn't make any other notes about it. I'm gonna do like smaller melting baskets because I feel like I forget by the time I film, and I have a pretty good memory, but this was a lot of things. Okay, this was Sangria White Peach Cotton Candy. Gave this an 8 out of 10 on warm and a 5 out of 5 throw. So there's like something about peach that smells like off to me on cold. And it was like kind of a little bit there on warm, but not nearly as bad. So I did enjoy this. It was good. And then pink sugar, blue sugar, sandalwood. My partner really loved this on cold. And it was like good on warm, but it was really faint. So like 6 out of 10, but like 2 out of 5 throw. Like it was just like if you were really close to it, you could smell it. And I feel like these are notes that typically throw really well. I don't know, I feel like I did have like a few things that like didn't throw well in a row too. So maybe it was like my nose or the weather. I don't know. I'm definitely like, these are all vendors that like I've had good experiences with too, so I'm not trying to bash on them. These are just how these specific things went. From L3 we had wild berry mousse, blackberry jam, buttermilk pie. I gave this like a 7 out of 10, 4 out of 5 throw. Like it was good. I don't need more of it. Didn't make a ton of notes about that one. All the goods, pumpkin pecan waffles, zucchini bread, sugar cookie dough. I give this a 9 out of 10 on cold. Like it was good, and it was a 5 out of 5 throw. Like I probably would get more of this, and this is something I think they have like quite, like they offer it fairly often. And I would probably get that again. I enjoyed that. Basic Witch, which was vanilla bean, pumpkin spice, pumpkin pecan waffles. I gave this like a 6 out of 10, 4 out of 5 throw. Like it was a good bakery, but it wasn't special, is what I wrote down. Cinnamon chai. Gave this a 6 out of 10 and a 4 out of 5 throw. Didn't make any notes. I feel like I had a lot of cinnamon things in this batch, and they're just kind of like, I'm like, yeah, cinnamon's fine. I'm learning, like I don't need to buy a ton of cinnamon. I had one thing from Rainbow Melts, Elm Street, which is Palo Santo sugar cookie and marshmallow. I gave this a 6 out of 10, 3 out of 5 throw. I don't really remember this, but it seems like it was fine. I probably wouldn't get that again. Quite a few things here from VCS. So let's see. We have Elm Street, which was pumpkins, caramel, pecans, and marshmallow. I did this in my office because I had just like a couple of cubes. Gave it a 6 out of 10, 3 out of 5 throw. It was fine. Very similarly, Jamie's Halloween Treats, which was marshmallow, candy, corn crunch. 6 out of 10, 3 out of 5. It was fine. VCS Silver Shamrock, which was cinnamon brooms, candy corn. I gave this like a 5 out of 10, 3 out of 5 throw. Like it just was like cinnamon. But this was shocking to me because oftentimes cinnamon throws like very well. It's a really strong note, and I feel like this wasn't like the strongest throw ever. Jackie O's Perfect Pumpkin Pie, Vanilla Bean Cake Pumpkin Pie, Fluffy Marshmallows. I gave this a 6 out of 10 and a 4 out of 5 throw, and wrote down this was fine. So I feel like I had a lot of things this week that were like bakery that I was like, this is good, but not like blowing my mind. Okay, the Warrens, which is cinnamon donuts, cider, gooey marshmallows, caramel, and cinnamon. I gave this a 7 out of 10, which is shocking for me for something that has like an apple cider note in it. 4 out of 5 throw. And I wrote down, I was shocked that I could pick up on like a marshmallow whipped cream note. Like it really smelled like you were like baking apple pie with whipped cream. Like it was good. Like if you like apple, get this. I don't love apple, so it was good. But Dolly's cinnamon bread, y'all, she's good. So I recently was at Dollywood. I'm from the South, and I was back for a wedding. And I brought back a thing of Dolly's cinnamon bread to share with my roommate who watched our dogs while we were gone. And the notes are cinnamon bread and cream cheese, and it smells like this melting. Smells like you are reheating Dolly's cinnamon bread in the oven. Like exactly. This is like one of the closest things I feel like I've had that I was like, yeah, that is what that smells like. Would recommend. From that Smell Good shop, I had a custom of watermelon candy and ice cream bread. 10 out of 10, 4 out of 5 throw. This is like one of my favorite scents. I would definitely be remaking this. I've been making it in other customs. I love it. And I had just like 2 cubes left that I did in my office, and it was wonderful. And then 2 more things from Sassy Girl Aroma. I had a sample of vanilla mint. And I interestingly melted this on a day that there was like somebody that was there to see somebody else that had some like strong BO smell going on, and this really like neutralized that. Like I noticed it when I was like walking through the waiting room past them, and then like walked back out a few minutes later and like couldn't smell it. And I feel like the mint in this, and it's like a little bit sweet with the vanilla, it just like is great for if you're trying to get rid of an unpleasant smell. And then lastly, from Harper James, I had this sample of strawberry pound cake, pumpkin, salted pretzel, caramel, maple, and sugar cookie, which is ghostly good. Gave this a 7 out of 10, 4 out of 5 throw. I had this in my office, and people commented on it a lot. Like people really liked this, and I feel like it just really, like it smelled like caramel, but it was good. So I enjoyed her. All right, let me grab my basket for y'all. She's still like a lot, but I tried to do like smaller ish because I feel like I've been doing a couple that are big and it's hard for me to like keep track of. So let me take all my things out. And my approach this time was I wanted to pull some fall things that I just wanted. I wanted to pull things that I like am unsure about, and then I wanted to pull things from vendors that I have not melted before. Okay, so like I said that I want to have just like lemon pound cake that lives in my basket. I also want to have from Birdies Making Sense some Hannah's Baby that lives in my basket. So this is carrying over. I never want to like rush melting this or lemon pound cake. They're my two faves. I want to enjoy it. I want it to be the right time, but I would love to have like a little bit of both that just stay in my basket, and when I finish it, I replace it, and they just kind of live there so that I can have them whenever I want. And then the other things I will do like in a classic melting basket fashion. All right, let's see here. So I have not melted anything from scoopable wax before. I got this in a D-Sash. This is Extreme Strawberry Twinkies, which is strawberry jam, whipped cream, and cupcake. And it's like pretty good. Like I would give this like an 8 on cold out of 10. Oh, I need to put a spoon in my basket with this. I'm excited to try this. I have like mixed feelings about scoopable wax. I think that because it's soft, it melts fast and throws fast, but doesn't always last as long. It's definitely a trade-off there, but I'm excited to try that. Let's see. I am now like searching through. I need to be better prepared. This is so hard for me to like keep track of everything I'm trying to do. All right, so 2 things from Xavier. I've melted a couple of things from Xavier and have had like kind of mixed experiences. So I wanted to try some more before I like order anything else, because I do have quite a bit. I made like a really big first order. So I was excited. So we have lemon zucchini bread, which is lemon and zucchini bread naturally. This is like a 9 out of 10. I just love a lemon bakery. Excited to try her. And then I also got this in a D-Stash. This is cashmere and leaves. Got her double bagged because the bag was like a little leaky. Fluffy cashmere sweaters, crisp fall air, dried autumn leaves. And I gave this like a 6 out of 10. This is, I've like wanted to try some like things with cashmere as a note. And yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about this. I feel like it's gonna be like a very cozy fall scent. It's supposed to cool off a little bit for me in the next week. So I'm excited to try her, but we'll see how they perform. Okay, let's see. From Rose Girls, I have Carbs with Ghoul Friends, which is one of everyone else's faves, but I haven't melted it yet. I do like it on cold. Like it's like an 8 out of 10 for me. It's donuts, cookies, bread, pumpkin, sugared donut, vanilla, pumpkin, Noel, and fluff puffs. And she's good. It's like just a very cinnamony bakery without being like overwhelming in cinnamon. So we'll see how she does. I also have had mixed performance with Rose Girls. It's funny because like I know that other people really love these things and that it's like probably me. And I'm very open to that. And I'm not like bashing on these vendors or discounting them. I just have mixed performance with some places, and I think it's just my house. So this is from Sassy Girl Aroma, pumpkin creamer, a cozy creamy blend of cashew creamer, pumpkin puree, brown sugar, and a sprinkle of nutmeg powder. I really like this. I said in a video recently, like it's like fall without being bakery, which I feel like is hard to achieve, of having something that's like pumpkin-y and pleasant, but not super sweet. And this definitely does that. I'm excited to warm it. Let's see here. From Pharmacist's Daughter, I have Bakery Goodies, which is cinnamon sugar donuts, pie crust, zucchini bread, and iced almond cookies. Give this like a 7 out of 10. Like it's good, but it's just like bakery scent. And I like bakery, but I feel like they gotta be like good bakery because there's so many. I want it to like blow me away and be like, amazing. I've also had mixed performance with Pharmacist's Daughter. I've only warmed like 2 or 3 things, so we'll see. From Birdies, I have Stuck on You, which is glazed cinnamon donuts, cafe cubano, sugared maple, buttercream maple frosting. I would give this like a 7 out of 10. It's kind of light in here, and this is something I've had for a little while, so we'll see how it does on warm. Also from Birdies, we have I'd Rather Not, which is pretzel pie crust and kettle corn. and gave this an 8 out of 10. I'm interested to do this. I feel like I've had only a few things that are like have a pretzel note, and I've been mixed about those as well. But that is like, you know, heavy on the pretzel. Okay, Fantasy Wax. Look, some of these things, if you've noticed them is missing, I like sent some to a friend. This is Pumpkin Spice Latte, 9 out of 10. Classic. I'm sure it's gonna be great. From Bathing Garden, I have Spellbound, which is cotton candy, blue taffy, fluffy marshmallow frosting. I haven't melted anything from the Bathing Garden before, and this is like a 7 out of 10. I'm excited to see how that performs for me. That's another thing I know people like love. Let's see. So also a vendor that I haven't melted from the Melted Mousse. I have the Great Pumpkin, which is salted caramel, pumpkin donuts, and Palo Santo. I gave this like an 8 out of 10. Excited to try her. Another thing I know people like love. From Harper James, I have Pumpkin Pretzel Latte, which is white chocolate, pumpkin, butter, toasted marshmallow, pretzel, graham cracker. Gave this a 7 out of 10. It's like a little buttery heavy for me. We'll see how it does when warm. And then lastly, I have ordered 2 things with peanut butter in them because it weirds me out that peanut butter is like a scent in wax. I don't like chocolate and wax, and I'm curious to see how I feel about peanut butter, so I'm gonna melt this one. This is from Vintage Chic Scents Peanut Butter Jelly Time Peanut Butter Strawberry Jam. The other one I have is from Sassy Girl and has grape jam. So I'm gonna give them both a shot and then decide if I like peanut butter or not. But that is it from my melting basket. Are you melting any of these things with me soon? Let me know in the comments below. Please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe.